This meeting to order, Thursday, December 21st, 2023, meeting of Springfield Historical Commission. Commissioners Walsh, Carmen, Walter Kroll, and Judith Kroll are present, with Judith Kroll being by Zoom, and Brian DePardo being by Zoom. We have no acceptance, our procedures. Could you look it up, please? Yes, I can. 83 Buckingham.
Danny, I'm here from the city.
Oh, perfect.
Just get translated.
Yep, yeah. It's an application for certificate of appropriateness to install 47 pleasure windows. The partnership community action part of the NSA program for.
My name is Marcel Ipega. I'm from the city called Data Recovery, and my address is 11 February. El nombre y la dirección. Doris Cotto, every tree Buckingham Street.
The question.
According to the previous conversation I have before we start here, she said the partner community actions that in Spanish to her, just to explain you guys what is the needed would use. But it's always you will be approval.
So I didn't see the pictures, so I have the meeting, so the folks on Zoom are able to see what you have here, we could be descriptive.
This is the woman, we wanted to see the black, if she could do black also, correct?
So that's correct. Did she find out what the colors? Ask about colors?
Ellos pedían de algún tipo de color, y pedían color, lo pedían. ¿Qué color? They told her it would be a wide window, and it would be the curious, we don't know about the religion.
This has color options. So
Era diciendo que las ventanas la comprendo ahí de colores diferentes.
before we describe it, Brian, before we get into it, it's just gonna pass it over here as well to Walter. It appears to have a low, it appears to sit low.
Like the low double hung thing?
Appears to sit low here. It's a fairly thick frame at the bottom. It comes close, if not fitting our general requirement. However, this picture doesn't. This picture has the frame in, so this really doesn't tell us anything new because the frame is part of it.
Right.
It is. I mean, on the sides, it looks at the sides. I think we had asked if they could bring it up. Yeah. Stand.
Ellos están diciendo que no específicamente qué ventana que yo bajé que dije la ventana para este momento. De esta manera porque se dio la ventana física. I would like to understand the way that you say if you request to get physical window,
Yeah,
for
well,
example,
They can stay.
just to get what is the way to get put it on.
Just read this,
What's the name of the company?
JT Energy. That's the installer. The manufacturer is the earth lines, windows and doors. Mercury is the Mercury and Stellar. That's the manufacturer. I mean, by what they're presenting, it seems to be close, other than the white. The white is really not acceptable.
That's what I explained that before, to start the meeting. Because I will review with you guys, that's why I started her monthly historical house, have the black windows. And outside, even we put up the white inside. And, I show her the picture with the previews, when it's the black outside windows. That's what I explained to her, that you need to contact the planning committee action to make sure they understand the request of black outside windows in order to do that. The windows.
She, and she stated that it would be only black exterior.
It will be indicated in the understanding of the. Yes, you understand.
This paper you gave us certainly makes it seem like.
Again,
will
blue
be
and black.
okay, you have a modern picture? No, sure. No kid out of them.
The green one. Go around.
Yeah, go around now.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. Oh, is that, oh, that's straight ahead? That's it?
Yeah,
There's no grid patterns. One over ones?
the one,
So, well, I'm asking anybody who's. There's no grids in one. That one looks like it might open.
or the.
I can't tell.
It's
Doesn't look like it. It's just looks like one over ones.
Yeah, the green and then the center, yeah.
In the glass.
Right.
Any commissioners have any questions for the petitioner?
You guys are looking at a Google of 83 Buckingham?
Yes.
Okay. Is it the brown one or the green one?
The green one.
Okay.
So the original home picture.
Okay, yep, I see it. I see it.
was black windows. And is this the color of the house now?
Oh, yes, that's what I'm looking at. Yes.
Yes,
It's gonna stay that color?
it is, it's like, it's a color. What the original color
No,
comes?
well, it doesn't, we have nothing to do with the color, I was just asking in general. Right.
¿Lo piensas de ahí, ese color?
Por lo menos por ahora sí, pero tenemos planes de
Black will-
cambiar el tono de la porque
She will be, she, right now, she would like that, but she has to plan in the future to change it.
Question is, do we have to see it? Is anybody satisfied with this, or do we need to see it?
My only question would be, can we with a model number? Is the model number earthwise? Is that the style or is that the,
If you didn't-
does that describe what the actual window model is?
Second time, I think the paper, I think is that. Money from the center.
See that?
If the commissioners there, for me anyway, if the commissioners there are satisfied with the window, the pictures of it, I'm satisfied.
Like, for detail, you generally would went with bottom number, the style and model number.
There's no style or number.
The style, which is earthwise. I don't, actually, yeah. In
Will
the-
she be able to do the black or like a darker color?
Yes, black is the piece. I'm gonna see if there's a model number in the proposal that was provided in the application.
Yes, I don't recall seeing.
Get that online on the screen. Now,
Yeah, this doesn't have. I apologize if I have to. We don't have a model.
pero que no quieren el número del modelo.
Is there someone who can call right now and get a model number?
Tú tienes que poner el teléfono de la persona que trabaja, en la secretaria.
The application says, oh, like I said, like this.
She has the phone number to the person that will be installed the windows, probably he have the information. It will call right now.
It was,
Wonderful, so she can obtain the submission.
Happens right there. See, this picture here does not appear to be that window. And I actually think we're gonna have to see a sequel of this one. Now, this is much better on the spacing, but this is low profile for you guys watching at home. But this picture that is illustrated picture here is not the same as this window right here. This looks very slim. It's a slim line all around.
Okay,
This one, while it's laying flat, like very low on the sill, which is what we want. The rest of it's more like a regular final window. So I'm leaning towards we need to see
okay.
a sample of this window. And at very least have a very specific model number so that we can.
And that just means, I don't know, that the sample usually should come from the person putting them in, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so if she can get a sample from the person who's installing the windows, that would be great.
Okay. Well, she's trying to call them right now to get a model number.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
There's a lot there.
Hello, Alex, te habla Doris de la 83 de la Bópina, Springfield. Mira, amor, estoy aquí ahora mismo en una reunión con la Comisión Histórica. Me están pidiendo
El número del modelo o una ventana, un ejemplo de la ventana que se la pone en la casa de ella. ¿Tú tienes ese número?
¿Cómo que
Un ejemplo, como si fuera la ventana que le van a poner, que la traigan aquí para que yo te muestre que son las que yo hablo con la comisión.
Ok, bueno, también voy a hablar con mi gente, pero también a ver para ver si llevamos a la calle porque creo que las que las vamos a poner no, ¿verdad?
Todas son negras, no pueden ser blancas.
No, tiene que ser negras todas.
Tienen que ser negras por la parte de afuera. Okay. This is the person that working to install the windows. They will be all of the box they have of the model, all the windows. And that also tell them that we request the black window outside.
Okay.
They will be saying, if you minutes, you can take somebody else, they we need to fall back, that's totally fine.
Well, we could do that. We could, I mean, right now, I don't think we're gonna get a sample. I think we're gonna need a sample of the window, just to see.
They say they have a, and the web. They usually with the big hard control would be used.
I think the easiest thing to do right now would be to continue to our next meeting
Okay,
and, bring a sample.
Okay.
Model number, more information about the model.
lo que están diciendo ellos, lo que pueden hacer ahora es, tú que ponte cuello, que traigan el ejemplo de la ventana, van a continuar el caso para los próximos años. Brinquera y entonces van a dar hoy no tienen nada para empezar. It's okay. They have a question, they can come in and provide it just a sample, or she has come to with that person that have the windows.
It's always good that she come in as well, because we may have questions about the sample, but I will. It's okay if they come in without her, as long as she gives them a letter saying that she can speak, they can speak for her, but we would prefer to have her here.
Siempre ellos pueden venir solo, siempre van a tener una carta tuya, dando permiso que hablen por ti. Pero siempre es recomendable que para que tú siempre entiendas lo que está pasando. ¿Ok?
Okay, we'll continue to the next. one.
Porque lo
Which is
vamos a
the
hacer
4th of June.
el 4 de junio. Sería el próximo 4 de junio. De junio. No, January. What happened? Months around. January, enero.
Motion.
Sí.
The motion, we can continue this to the next meeting, January.
Is there a second on that motion?
Second,
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? The motion continue to continue. Eighth Department, Hampton, June 4th, 2024. Yeah, Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll, yeah, Commissioner Judith Kroll,
yes.
Oh,
I mean, I hate to do that, but I see this window, it's not, the pictures are not giving us enough information. Okay, next is, 80 Cornell, someone here for 80 Cornell? You are. Good. Okay, we had some questions, that's it, right? This name, address, and record.
Zero minutes, 80 Cornell Street. So that 80 Cornell solar.
Yep.
It should have been continued until, well,
Oh,
but they want together with
you
the
wanted to do.
garage.
Oh. Okay. Actually, it says it right there. Sorry.
But 251 is, no, yeah, 251. Long. And the
Okay,
next one.
it's yours. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so last time we spoke, you had a question whether we can move the meter.
well, we're talking about 100 place, put one question, what can we move it?
Yeah, so we can move it to the corner, as you suggested. And that's only gonna be the meter, because they're gonna put their inverter inside, so it's only the meter that's gonna be outside.
Just the. Okay, so let's just get, I can.
Yeah, so it's gonna go on that right. Almost had it right there. Right,
Just
just
got basically that a little bit,
That's okay, talk
about it there.
in the corner.
So, that's, so we're gonna just put electric meter there,
They're gonna put the electric meter right next to the guard, right there.
right, and, yeah, and the disconnect, and everything else. is-
Everything else is inside.
You know, what about, our, was there a conduit question on this? We're not gonna come from,
There's no conduits here, so it's all underground.
so. So. This
On the panels, on the garage, if you're on the same side.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a couple that are talking to you, so this is the garage,
Yeah,
so that was the only question we had. Any commissioners have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
So-
This is the one we didn't want him to have to go like dig all the way around and go to the back, right?
yes.
Yeah, on the opposite, yeah. If we
Right,
were,
so you don't have to do that, right?
No, but the only place that means the electric company.
Yeah,
Right there.
Yep.
What is done, and I think it's a good compromise, is to take every
Yes.
equipment and put it inside. Because sometimes you can't get good, but it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. I think I'm okay. Is there any other questions? We open it to the public for commentary. Any other commission questions? They'd like to open it up. The public commentary is an application for certificate of appropriate to 251 Longville Street for installation of solar panels. Roof of garage. So I'm here like to speak for or against. Seeing none, close the public commentary. And entertain a motion to accept the application for this 251 Longville Street. The installation of solar panels, the roof, the garage, the what was the word you used? Not the meter, the other, all the other related kind of.
The converter.
Inverter.
Yes.
So, your second. Is there any- the reason I did not add the meter to it is because we can't. As of this point, we have to be able to tell electric company where to put a meter. So if they're willing to, if he's willing to take all of his meter and put it in a less visible position, I'm okay with that. So that's why that's part of the motion. Except for the numbers. What is, yeah, they'll simply tell you it's gotta go somewhere else. Anyway, there's no more discussion on that. Let me just call the vote. Commissioner Farland,
Yes.
Walter Kroll, yes. Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
and Walsh, yes. Nick, that's one. That one is something that we have. If you will make the meter, that's good. You have another one? You're in. Anything? Okay. Yeah.
You guys seen the new pictures of the?
I haven't seen any, but we'll get this in the next week or so. Have a good. Thank you. Okay, new public hearings. Okay, 421 Maple Street, someone here for 421 Maple. How we doing? Something else? It says urban.
So we have the next meeting is the last meeting.
Sure.
It's whether it's not even a vote on it today, but then
Entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriate use of 421 Maple Street for the roof mounted bulk solar system. So,
Second.
discussion on the motion. Hearing none, we call the roll. Commissioner Walter Kroll, yes. Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Walsh, yes. Commissioner Brian Farrell.
Yes.
Continue. Report. Okay, 55 Emerald Street. How are you? Name and address.
Bernstein, 52 Republic Drive, Bloomfield, Connecticut, 06000.
It's an application of certificate of appropriateness, the window frame color change from dark gray to white. What is the color of your homes of the original building? And test window. Window installed, so it did not look like, you know, it looks like a white.
I have a colored shot. that I took the other
Yeah,
day.
question. Go ahead.
I didn't know if you wanted to see what they look like. They, on like one side of the building, they're completely installed and the way they can.
Oh, you know,
shop.
Sorry, part of this is I have a problem, you can come to us before you install those windows, and tell us that problem.
Well, we didn't know
Maybe
we were
install
painting. We've installed 120 of them. I honestly didn't know, and no one from my company knew that we had to represent on the way, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, I do not remember things exactly sometimes, but I thought it was a very specific color. When we took it, and that had anything to do with someone.
Yeah, I think we
We had a color.
I think we it was originally white, and then we changed it to the gray. You're right.
Chose to not do it anyway, so that, I have a problem with that right now. I mean, could we have heard it early and looked at it and maybe wait it out? But it just makes it more difficult to wanna compromise, it looks like we just said, just put them in and we see what happens. Maybe that's not the case, it just feels that way. That's my position, it's been.
And that is not the case at all. It really.
You understand why it feels that way to me. So-
Oh, yeah, that was not our intention at all.
Because if you look at it, it's not, I don't like the way this looks with the gray. That should have been right to us. Let's put them all in and then go see what this.
That was my mistake. And honestly, I didn't know about it until an official came for something else and brought it to our attention. Because frankly, I did not know.
I mean, you didn't know that color was attached, but from our previous.
Well, I knew, I thought we were authorizing to change from a white color to that color, so I figured going back to white wouldn't change anything, so that's my.
I get the logic, it's unfortunate, but because this just puts us in a tough position, because if we just say, yeah, okay. But we're told, we say, hey, that's why I fired today.
Okay, that wasn't our intention at all, sorry about that.
Nor was ours too complicated, it just.
I have a picture of it.
I never hashed this out, it seemed like. There was some other coloring, there's gonna be another color up here too.
No, it's just a dark gray color.
Lighter gray, darker.
Yeah, the building was gonna be light gray and the window was a darker gray. And then when you saw it together, there's a picture of, we have the sample in there. And it just was so monochromatic, it just didn't even.
Oh, they don't.
Enhance the building.
Probably a few shifts.
Those just finished yesterday. Inside. Yeah, I have one picture. There's a courtyard picture, I think. It's probably in your plans.
This one?
Not a clear picture, I can show you on my phone, maybe I can zoom in on my phone.
Oh. We have the original picture of the building.
It's not just a gray. First. This one is gray. Once they're pulled out are all white frames. That's what we pulled out.
And so that's changing the windows, that's first floor. is the light gray. So what we're looking. We're gonna get this. Sit something lost. Fine, exactly, because it looked like, the gray was right next to the white one,
Yes.
and in a standoutish way, the white one. See it, more, but I don't, I disagree respectfully that the gray one is worse.
It doesn't look worse, it just didn't do anything for the building. It didn't keep the building It's gonna look prisonable, to be honest with my bosses.
So what is it that you want to do? You just want us to say leave them all white?
We would like to leave them white, that is the rule.
Any commissioners have any questions at this time?
Yeah, didn't they come before us and it was supposed to be like a dark gray color?
Yes, that's what I thought.
And they installed a whole bunch of white windows instead?
It was a very specific request at the time.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to vote on that.
I'm not voting on that, I don't think. I mean, they came to us and said they were gonna do a certain color.
That was a big part of that.
That's why we said yes, I thought.
The same style.
Yeah, white is a very inappropriate color for that building.
Clean painted with.
Pardon me. Go ahead, Commissioner McFarland, could you say that again, please?
I said white is a very inappropriate color for the windows of that building. They should be a dark black or charcoal gray was a concession, I believe. It was kind of a meeting point.
Correct.
So it seems like they're not gonna go for the white, so we have some other compromise.
I guess if we have to paint them in the spring, we can paint them, you know, whether the weather gets better, if that's what we have to do.
Um, Oh, here, here in the middle. Right, compromise, brown. We thought the color combination on that stripe was certainly appropriate. And that was the whole point of the last vote.
Honestly, we thought the color combination was nice as well, but it didn't at all look historical, and it looked with the panes in the glass almost looked like, as my boss called it, it looked like prison cells. It didn't enhance the building. It actually made the building look less
Well,
aesthetically pleasing.
the problem with historic sometimes is always important. And I found that a lot of times I talk to people about windows, and I think bright white is a one. White and it's clean, but it's not historic anymore. There's no building that type would have bright white window. Probably ever. Maybe somebody painted it down red, but in order to the goal is to achieve.
Oh, I thought this building was originally bright, was white.
I don't know if it was originally white. We got pictures here where it was black. And then somewhere down the line, they painted it. It changed colors over. We know that happens to windows a lot. People do it on houses. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is, came before us.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, color that I think it seems like it would have been just as easy to do. When you found out when you found you didn't think it was appropriate, we needed.
I honestly,
Right away, shouldn't have day one. This is not what's on the.
right,
You know,
I honestly didn't know.
I would
That's
have
right.
loved, I would have loved to hash this out at the first meeting. But not this one. Clearly, we don't have the votes, so I have to take. Responsible. This is the change of the white's not come out. While they stay for now, you know, our position will still be, they should be that gray that. And that's how you can do it. That. Gray, if there's any other color you find that would be more appropriate than white, because white is not going to be approved. Show me the gray next to the white. didn't jump out at me as anything. I don't know, I can't say anymore. So. You're gonna ask me a question.
Not to sound like Al, can I make a suggestion?
Yes,
This
please.
grade been approved, you read it white, and so you, ultimately they have to paint them anyway. You might want to paint them black and see what it looks like, and you might want to paint them copper. And see what it looks like, and see if it is more aesthetically pleasing because it's colored.
Okay, well,
Better, you still have to come back, but. If the aesthetics is what's bothering you,
yeah,
the issue, the
the dark gray didn't look good. We painted the light gray and that also didn't look good. So we played with everything. And the white one was the one that looked the best. Honestly, I didn't know again that I had to represent, and obviously would have done that from the start of the music.
If you would, I agree. Unfortunately, I do have to open this up to public commentary before we. Before we. So is there anyone here who'd like to speak for or against this application for certificate of appropriateness to change the colors from dark gray to white windows at the 55 Henry Street in Springfield? Better than commercial real estate and resident I'm not familiar with the property, I am familiar with this type of building. And every time I go through Mason Square and look at the black, the sash that's been put in the motorcycle building, it looks anomalous. My experience with these type of buildings is that they tend to be worth things. Trying to look out and be a better solution to the goals, but I also have a reaction to the monochromatic gray and gray. Well, let me answer the question, because you know what, I'm not asking. For this particular application, I'm more or against. I'm against putting it away, and you suggested, so suggested, not to agree. Thank you very much. Anyone else for or against? Seeing none, post public commentary, the entertained motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness 55 Henry Street. To change the window colors from dark gray to white.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? So I'll start the vote on this. Commissioner Walsh votes no. Commissioner McFarland,
No.
Walter Kroll. No. Commissioner Dugan.
No,
Alternative. We call them our, we call them one problem.
All right, we can move forward with gray, some noise, issue building permits, your special permits, and everything that we need to be able to operate. Or you can find another color, come back to the convention, reapply, and then again, I know this is holding up your other permits, so it's really up in your.
Okay. Well, I'll discuss it with my superior and then we'll let you know. So if we go with painting in gray, the obviously winter I can't paint them, but
We understand
that'll be satisfactory too.
that, whatever we voted on the first one, whatever that color was, is already approved.
So that's approved. So if we don't change it, there's nothing I have to do at this point. Okay, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Next is 9197 Chestnut Street.
How are you? Sean Mullet, I'm the Director of Facilities for the Springfield Museums. My address is 554 Main Street, Somers, Connecticut.
This is an application for certificate of appropriateness. Springfield Museum proposed to undertake creation of a mural depicting the large wall of Chestnut Street on either side of the building, 9197 Chestnut. Mural will pay homage on the name of the street, of history, one of the most important residential streets in the 19th century. Springfield was voted the Chestnut Street, Chestnut tree, which is once prevalent in England. Image will be reported by representation of the town, campus, drawings of Chestnut Street, Chestnut Street, LLC, and practice further than that, so the reference. Okay. What do we got?
The intent is to have that on the other side and the front is gonna be black.
It's just that you already came to us in front of us, side of us.
That was the same property.
Yeah, the building,
Same
yeah.
property. Now we're just looking at, doing some creative mural on both sides and.
And that's the rendering.
That's correct.
So obviously, that's a window in the corner.
That's correct. Yeah.
Well, what's the drawing in the window?
I think they're just depicting people eating lunch.
Oh, it's almost like a
It's
bird
a little creepy.
It does kind of look like I'm trying to get to the bird bath. Now, do you have any closer like scale of rendering and scale size? I want to look at that, see the bird that big of a size, because it doesn't.
I get it. That's the only picture I have of it.
But this is the general idea.
That's the general idea, exactly. And that's.
And
That's
this is
the alley side.
It's right on that, right at the edge of the museum lot.
Yeah, Museum of Springfield History is directly to your right, and then you have Moon Street on the left.
If, this, now, right now, you know, there's commissioners, it's not just me, but if I look at that, I don't think I left that on the side of the road. It doesn't mean that, that something, rendering something similar to it that I would.
Right, I think it's a little,
Part of the other part that may have nothing to do with the commission, but say is that murals are not, except in rare cases. There's a building that happened 15 years ago. I don't know if this ever had any.
so it's a white glaze.
This. Anything else you might want to tell us about? This? Not just like you want to do both sides or
Both sides in the front would be fine.
both sides.
Both sides. John Simpson will be the artist doing the project. He's done other murals in the city. Very popular. City.
Well, they are,
Yes.
yeah. Well, hopefully they don't have to visit us.
Right.
Because this is in the historic history, that means the art is yes, it's kind of a stretch. Because that's what
The evidence. Now.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, frankly, it's a pretty plain white box right now. I think adding this will certainly draw some attention to the area, obviously, where we can add it. Be a staple in that area being marketed, so.
Can you, yeah. I'm just not, I'm, sure, I'm pretty sure that we don't have guidelines for murals in this book right here. And my gut looking at your rendering, it doesn't confuse with something that would enhance. If it looked just like that, I don't think it would enhance the properties, right? But I can see where you're going.
You look at that right now, it's pretty,
Yeah,
that's just great. We've invested a lot of money in that property, making it, turning it from a liquor store. Into what it is now. So
So that right there.
That side right there would be the blooming Chestnut Street. As you can see, there's a lot of gain from what we have there.
I think part of it. I'm just trying to weigh this out relative to the detriment to some historical area.
We're converting the liquor store and a piece for that area.
Yeah. The building itself is not significant.
No, it's just not.
It's in this area over the end. I don't know, anybody else opinions from the commissioners, please?
Well, we don't have a precedent, right? Because the only other mural we had was the one that had a mural, and I think John Simpson was the one that we created it, but you were basically Right, redoing something that was there, so you were taking something that was there and modifying. This is something, taking something that never had a mural, and creating something different. So I'm not sure that he looked at something that I.
There's nothing in these books. But is it?
What is the purpose of the mural, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I mean, I think it's just to enlighten the property. We have a donor that's passionate about this property and making sure that's why they picked a chestnut tree, because it's on a chestnut tree. And birds
It looks good, by the way. I mean, this picture does the current renovations no justice. I mean, it looks great.
Yeah, it's permanent.
That sidewall.
Sidewalls.
I guess my only comment would be, I guess I don't see why it needs a mural on either side, but that's just me.
Commissioner McFarland, any thoughts?
Well, I'm kind of blowing against the wind, but I like the mural idea. I don't think the building really has any historic significance. The way that it looks now, it looks like I don't want to say modern building, but it looks like a vintage modern building. It doesn't look
Yeah,
like the antiquity that we're charged with preserving.
Well, I don't know if you're going against the wind here, because the more I look at it, I can see that something may need to be there, but the rendering doesn't make me want it. You know what I mean? I know you can't redo it, but if that was just slapped on the side of it, I don't think
I
I
think
would
the
have.
finished, yeah, I think the finished product is gonna be a lot more.
I appreciate the rendering,
It's-
though, because it is what it is. The,
Well, actually, I thought you could paint your building anything you wanted to paint it.
well, it's in a district, so that's different, they still put the sign on it. There's nothing in there that says that I know of. There's nothing relative to murals. What's the deal? I don't even understand.
I understand.
We'll be there in a second, okay, guys, we'll be there, actually.
We're the neighborhood.
Yeah, but that has to happen, so we'll finish our discussion, and I will ask it. I'm sure you, anybody who wants to speak for or against will get a chance. I just want to make sure, is there any other questions from commissioners? No, okay, let me do that, well, your time was just. But open this up to public commentary. Is there anyone here who would like to speak for or against this application for a certificate of appropriateness of Chestnut Street to 8-year-olds on either side of their building? Okay. As I call you, name and address for the record, start with you.
My name is Jason Allen, I live at 35 Queen Street, and I'm also in 43 Queen Street. I'm also the president of the Queen Street Historic Preservation Association. I would like to focus primarily on the other side of the Queen Street side. I think Queen Street is a special street here in Springfield, and by the way, this is the first time anyone in our neighborhood has seen this rendering, so I think that's the problem. And I think the entire street is important to Springfield, and to just, in my personal opinion, that mural is too bright and it distracts from our brick row houses. Personally, I'm okay for the other side, on the museum side, that's fine. But as far as Mattoon Street goes, I think that is entirely too bright and it distracts from the row houses on Mattoon Street. So I'm against, if it's all or nothing, I'm against it.
And Elizabeth Johnson, I live at 31 Midtoon Street and also own 33 Midtoon Street, and the current president of the Armored Quadrangle Civic Association, which oversees the overall area. The number one concern is I did see the very, very rough conceptual design for that one side. And I cringe, not against the mural per se right there, but definitely we would need to see a much more specific, the actual mural that's gonna go on the wall and be able to weigh in on that. I share Jason's concern on the other side. And if, yes, the light gray is distracting, is somewhat of a distraction, but maybe just even paint that other side so that it makes a brick, you know, a brick gray, I mean, a red brick color so that it blends in
This is,
with the,
I apologize
Yeah.
for stopping you. This particular portion is only for yes, no up here. Other suggestions? Like this.
we need a lot more detail, meanwhile it's a no
So your position is no.
on that side, yeah.
So before we move on, Mark, just keep that in mind, so this is not a question for the petitioner, it says yes, or no, exactly the way it is. Everybody will have great ideas, but I think you just heard a couple. So, but try to remember when it's this, I have to lie, give a little leeway for a second.
So it's no to a vague mural.
Right, I already marked that. So if anybody else would like to speak forward, and if I saw 3 more hands, this, Richard. Back there, had the, oh, well, I had a couple of suggestions, but, okay. So do you want to speak for or against? No? Okay, Dave, okay, Dave Gavy, community planner as well as preservationist. The commissioners have been correct, this is not a building that contributes to the historic character of the neighborhood. This is, you might call it a modern intrusion architecturally. There was a very fine townhouse, style townhouse there years ago, and unfortunately this was built. And I think that it's tempting for people who are trying to strip of the property to want it to be brought here. And I appreciate the thought of the mural, but I think that I would have to say no. That what we need here is there's foreground and background art. We don't need, from a planning standpoint, we don't need this building to jump out and say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and distract from Mattoon Street architecture. They were, no, I'm a no, and I would suggest, as a suggestion for this proposal, that if they want to do something with a mural, it needs to come back with a measured drawing, specific colors, and a lot more information, because what's presented is not. Is there anyone else like to speak for or against? Okay, I already had it then. Anybody else for or against? And you don't have to be for or against, is all you have to say. You don't have to say why necessarily, but hearing none, I'm going to close it public commentary. Okay. So, any other commissioners, any other questions? Is there anything else you would like to add before I call the witness? Would you be open to, if we continue this, open to more specific mural or subsequently? Sure. And just maybe a little more specifics about details that could be here, give us. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I don't hear it all or none here, I hear it in between. Where
I think the museum wants to make the community happy, but we're not in all or anything.
I don't think it's either way.
We're just looking to move it forward and be a part of the community. So if that's what makes everybody happy and makes the project go well.
I don't think it would be a waste of time, take a little more time. Even whatever suggestions you heard tonight. So I'm gonna continue this.
Let's make a suggestion that, you know, maybe before you come back to the historical commission, if you could link with the already quad civic association, just so you can get, you know, support for your project. And then come back to the commission.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask, entertain a motion to continue to the January 4th or January 18th. And you can always ask us for more.
Yeah, I know, but I think it would just be a stretch.
But it's 18th, the next one. Okay, so entertain a motion to continue this application for certificate of appropriateness to for murals at 9197 Chestnut Street to the January 18th meeting.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
I just, I'm having a hard time hearing everything, so why are we continuing it?
Although he can bring more details to a meeting, more details about what one might actually look like, and then they can maybe act on some of the other suggestions that were given here tonight.
Okay.
So. Anyway, any other discussion on the motion? Okay, let me call the vote on the motion to continue. Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
yes, Commissioner Brian McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter.
Yes.
Question for the audience. What does the Armory Classic Association do?
Well, more appropriate would be the Twin Street Association. We have a meeting on the 30th, but we can have a special meeting before then.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go over it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, next up is 134 Fourth Park Avenue. An application over is adding a third line and mushroom top vent to the building and property. In order to make it not only that. Okay, the name address for the record.
Maggie McCarran, 137 Park.
Motion.
Maggie McCarran.
Okay, so what do we have? We have pictures, renderings, okay. Is this replacing the existing vent? Or is this a new
No,
addition?
this is, we're just trying to finish installation with mass saves, the previous was no installation.
Let's read this letter of authorization. Says somebody else, is somebody else supposed to?
Is that no hit?
Yeah.
He's out of town, this, my good daughter.
Okay. You know, is there anything you can tell me about? My part of my question is why that type of power instead of less power than. They make lots of different kinds.
Yeah, they said those would be.
There's two.
What would work, yeah.
There's
two options. Yeah, there's two options.
Okay, I didn't say it's.
Yeah.
The turbine vent was way, like, around.
Line.
Progress the audience, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, because I understand that roofs need to be ventilated, or they function properly up there.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that can be colored to match the roof to make it even less. Can you?
Where on the, you know, where on the roof is that gonna be, so if you're standing at the tree, it's gonna be.
There's pictures of that too, so it's gonna be the rear of the house.
Yeah, I saw this, but it doesn't really tell me.
It might be just like cut out a little bit. So that's the front of the house.
Thanks, Alan.
It's gonna be on the back. Kind of, I think there's a picture like where the, yeah, that's. So-
Prefer the mushroom vent out of the two.
Yes.
Agreed. Yeah, we agree, it'd be much less intrusive.
So,
And then
it's
function just as
like-
well.
Okay. It's not on Forest Park, it's on Oxford, it's around the back. So from the front, you won't see it in,
Is that the house?
on the corner. Yeah, that's the house, but it'll be all the way around.
Be on. Okay, grab it on the back side.
Yeah, Oxford.
You won't be able to see it through that
Through
tree.
the tree. See where that chimney is?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All the way up.
I'm okay.
So you're not
I'm
even
okay with
doing that.
mushroom. You gotta, if we invest in insulation and roofs and things, you gotta be able to protect them. And, I mean, the first one, I don't know why they would even use it, it's not common residential property.
They said those would be the only ones that would be used, but
Yeah,
I
so
don't
this,
think they were fired up about it, even necessarily.
I'm okay with that, I mean, this is a power event, I would ask. It's hot, turn something on. Any commissioners have any other questions for the petitioner? Representative? No? All right, let me open this up to public commentary. If there's anyone here who would like to speak for or against this application for certificate of appropriateness to install a, I would say, mushroom vent in the roof, or against? Seeing nobody, I'll close the public commentary and entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 134 Forest Park Avenue to add a mushroom top vent to the roof of the property in the rear.
Can we make it color match with the shingles?
Yes, color to match the roof.
So moved.
Your second on that motion?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Having trouble, I don't have it to write my voting sheet today. So, hey, let me call the vote, Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Walsh, yes. Just note that it's the mushroom event is. Thank you very much. Okay, 188 Florida Street. Name and address for the record.
Alex Croge, 543 Springfield Street, Jacoby.
Okay. Who are? Then I have to actually make sure that I have authorization for you. So, you do, tell us what's happening here.
We are rebuilding a section of you're looking at the front of the house.
Yep.
We're rebuilding the left corner of the porch. As you know, a lot of these porches, they have no sonotubes, nothing that has any frost protection, so they always fail. So you can see we're gonna do 3 sonotubes. Nothing is changing. We are going to be able to reuse a lot of the existing carpentry.
Okay.
But the colors, the style, everything is remaining the same.
And you're using the same materials?
Correct.
The flooring, I'll just put flooring.
Yeah.
It said in here, but it didn't say something, you're saying,
Correct. Yep, the 3-inch or 3.5-inch Dougfir. They tried to remedy. They tried to do a patch job with the pine, so it exactly, but
nothing with the stairs.
nothing with the stairs.
So everything's gonna be to the left of the front door?
Correct. Yep, roughly 12 to 15 feet.
Okay, and there'll be no change.
No change.
Look, the problem is when we say exactly the same we need it.
Yeah.
So if something has to change because of the columns can't be exact or something, we really need to know that.
No, it'll be exact.
Everything, here. Those are pretty standard columns anyways. And it's all shinged, there's no
Cedar shape.
shape, it's gonna just be recovered in cedar. And duplicate now this appears like those shakes are going all the way down.
They do. They go roughly.
88 more.
Yeah. I'd like to say there's still a little bit of a.
There's gotta be a gap, so.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of a gap for the motion drainage, but.
But the whole front is cedar shape, it's all the way down to the ground.
He said pretty much, yeah, it's pretty close.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
on the
that's
left
it,
side.
that's it. It's just zoom in on there, right there, yeah. Okay, so you have a rail in the middle, it's gonna be, probably use the same rail, are you able to do that, are you gonna just do it?
We are able to reuse the same rail. Luckily,
Making it easy on me tonight.
yeah, I know.
Making it easy on me.
That's it. No changes at all. Same paint, same colors.
Okay.
Same gray, that traditional gray color for the Dougfir.
No, it's So you're just doing the bottom,
Correct.
nothing up the top?
No.
Anybody else, any other commissioners have questions?
We will be regaining a house for her probably next year. Is that something I need to come and see if we're keeping the same?
No, I don't think anybody, we don't. And public corner, those.
Okay.
Any other commissioners, any questions? All right, let me open this for public commentary. It's an application for a certificate of appropriateness, 188 Fourth Street, to repair the front porch as discussed. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak for or against this application? Please start over here first. Go ahead. Or just give the name for the record. Stephen Gray. Stephen Gray is for. Perfect. Thank you. More. Okay. Go ahead, Dave. Yeah, this is the Beham and Seabury house. For everybody's information, it's one of the two architects that designed quite a few buildings. He also designed after the partnership book of an 1890 design. Designed the Vanderhaven building. This was his home that he built for himself. And I'm speaking in support of the application as it's been presented with the architectural changes to be made. I would suggest that someone may want to review the history of the house scenario with the commission, because there are continue to be illegal windows. Okay, you know that's like, no, right? But we know that, just remember, you've got a pending complaint here. That's right. That has to come not in the middle of an application, so you are for what's presented. What's been presented is okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Anybody else for or against? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public commentary and entertain motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness, 188 Forest Street, for the installation of sonotube support for the 6x6 post studs, existing tongue roof flooring replaced by double spur tongue roof flooring, new columns and ladders to match existing style in material. Anybody second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Commissioner Walter Poole? Yes. Commissioner Judith Poole?
Yes.
Walsh, yes. Commissioner Brian McFarland?
Yes.
Okay. You good?
All right, thank
If
you.
anything changes on that, like you might have heard earlier or something,
Yeah.
find something can be done, that you do have to come.
I guess, thanks.
Good night. Thank you. Okay, 54 Washington.
Hello,
How are you?
good. My name is David Harvey, senior design consultant with Home Depot, here on behalf of Florence County Gables. We'll be here tonight.
Bert's in here. Well, Alvin says he hasn't, that's all I. Yeah. Right. So if I check it, if I don't have one, we can discuss it on the spot. Doesn't work. Oh, I got it. Okay. Your name was again?
David Harvey.
All right, tell me what's happening.
So we're proposing to install 6 Simonton 6100 replacement windows. There are already a couple of replacement windows very similar in the house. In the whole neighborhood, in fact, there's a lot of replacement windows. So really, that's the long and the short of it. It's non-structural, we're not changing the exterior casings, we're not, in deference to the, age of the house. We do a wrap sometimes on the exterior windows, we're not wrapping.
Yeah, are these windows on our already?
That, I've done hundreds and hundreds of jobs in Springfield, I don't have the answer to that.
In what color?
White.
Got that one? Which one is it?
54 is the number.
It's not that,
No.
it's gotta be the one to, is it the one to the left? No. Yeah, tell me. Oh, there it is, right there. So it's right there, you can get to it. That's it.
Which 6 windows above the front?
So there was 2 in the front on the bottom. And 2 on the right side, 2 on the left side, actually. There's 2 on the bottom that are being replaced. That window in the top left is already a replacement window, so they're very similar to that. Those 2, the one you just pointed to, those are both already replacement windows. So
Or those top ones,
Those top, so not the middle one, but the 2 outside ones.
that first one looks black.
Where do you mean, in the middle?
No, the first window.
Upper left.
Yeah, the upper one.
Just to show. That's
Okay,
the way-
just,
the way-
since you're with Home Depot, I'm gonna speak directly to you.
Sure.
Because we have a lot of people. So I just want to give you, and you may know all this, just let me do it.
Yeah.
Our job is to do our best to protect the integrity of the neighborhood. And so what we don't take into consideration is anybody else put in windows all the time. That doesn't matter.
I get it.
And so we still, our goal is whatever house is in front of us, to try and maintain. Now, the fact of the matter is, it's, placement windows. That they could be replaced again, the same thing. But even though that's the case here, it may be the case here that some of these are replaced, we still ask owners to look at it in a historical perspective, because the more houses that try hard to maintain a historical perspective, the more the whole neighborhood, the value of the neighborhood stays up because of this.
I totally get it.
We found that some of the contractors, you know, they want the white window, they put it in. That's not usually gonna go in a historic district. White historically doesn't work. It has, I'm just telling you, because it's one of the battles we fight here regularly, usually with contractors. So you're not the first time that said,
Right.
please listen to how we're trying to do this on a historical basis.
I feel you. I would just say this, not just for the record too, I started selling windows in 1979, been to tens of these hearings all over.
I was gonna say, you probably said
Where I go.
sure.
I have, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love the integrity of the building. So, yeah, I mean, if we drive by the street and we put 6 windows in that house, no one's gonna say, oh geez, there's 5 windows in that house.
No, it's not even, that's not even, color sometimes important, but also the style of the window. So this, I can see this, but it's not, and part of it is the way that bottom sill sits. You know, some of them are very thick. They call that, some of the companies call it slim lines.
Yeah, so
They're slim around us like an original window at the
Yeah,
bottom.
so for an application like this, Home Depot, we use diamonds in windows because they have 2 frames. There's a wide frame and a narrow frame. Well, 6500 is a wide frame and 6100 is narrow frame, but so we're designed not to be intrusive once you put it in. And so I can show you a picture of that if you know, if that will help.
Anything. And then the house, the lights on those lower ones as well.
There are no grids.
Right, it looks that from here.
We see the other side too. We saw the front's actually the front porch. 2 on that side, 2 on the porch, and then 2 on the inside.
They couldn't see.
So that's obviously the inside picture. I can show you the outside picture too, but that's very narrow.
Yeah, the outside is actually more concerned. Yeah, those are, I don't see grids anywhere, that makes sense. But what colors, the original, are there any original windows left in them?
Yeah, and they're white. The original windows are white. So that window in the attic, those, where the red is.
Yeah.
Those are original wooden windows and they're painted white.
Well, I think they have
Yeah.
storms over.
Yeah.
This is where we.
So again, this is a house that's about the same age, and we did wrap the exterior on that, but that's the same window. We're proposing not to wrap the exterior on this one because you want to keep it out, obviously, the same way as it does.
Wish I could show you guys this here. Is there a model that has more of a, where that out of silver sit more closely, need a pod staff. That's one of the criteria that we use.
So,
That's not bad, but it still looks like it has about this much sign.
so the short answer is no. We only have two models that we use, and I know everybody thinks Home Depot has a bunch of different windows, but on the install side, we really only install Andersons and Simon's. This is what I'm really getting to.
You see that, I'm unclear on what windows on the house are, have replacements and what aren't. It looks like the ones on the side are, the ones on the porch, Calvin, can you please see? Are those original on the first floor or these replacement?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question. Those benefits.
The six that are being proposed are on the first floor. So on the
So,
side,
yeah,
those
two
two on
in
the first
front
floor,
and are supposed to be.
are those replacement windows or are those?
Those are replacement windows already.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the same window with screen.
Yeah, they all have a half screen, so the screen, I just want to show you how it still sits.
Those are pretty low. Those are pretty tight.
Yeah.
Just off the top of your head, you've been in this property. This is one
Oh,
of
yeah,
the actually-
yeah, I was, yeah.
A lot of times they just, they'll send somebody back.
No, I was actually the rep on the job in this case.
How many replacements? This is wrong. I know you probably right. How many other windows have already been replaced?
I think 4 at least.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like more than that, but. We always have trouble with the color. And sometimes in a house like this, even if we just go to a. Like an ivory, something that's just not bright white.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
It is not, so our windows are white. That's it. Yeah.
I mean, I would honestly feel more comfortable knowing, or seeing the house to see what windows are existing, which ones are original. I'm just uncomfortable because I can't tell from here, you're not the homeowner, you're speaking from visiting this site once or twice. So I'm uncomfortable knowing what's been replaced in the past. But that's just my.
You know that some houses have a lot of people footage.
Yeah.
And some originals are in really good shape. What Commissioner Paul is suggesting is that we have to say that we're built at the house, so do that for one hour. Giving us a few minutes to see it sometime before we vote. And then we came along with this. Appreciate your patience on this. Any commissioners have questions on that?
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I don't know if I get what do we do by looking at the house to see how many windows have already been replaced?
Yes.
Okay.
To see what.
And that.
If you have, so if you have a house and it's got 42 windows,
Yeah.
there's been one replaced. It makes a difference than if there's been 38 windows replaced and there's 2 originals left, in my mind.
Okay. So those are 2 replacement windows right there. Those windows have already been replaced. Those are not originals.
These two in the front,
Yes.
but they weren't done by you, they're done.
No,
already.
probably within the last 20 years, I'm gonna say, they're not.
Yeah. Well, the reason we do this, and it takes our time to, you know, we're volunteers here. do this because it is too, first of all, to be, we try to be reasonable. Sometimes it's reasonable to have somebody keep the old windows and repair them, whatever, depending on the age and the position of the house, because you're usually better off doing that anyway. We've got people trying to rip beautiful old windows out of their houses. But we've had other people who come in and they've got a lot of replacement windows already, and we want to do something that at least enhances the whole thing, but we still have to look at it from the sort of point of view, what's the most they can do with the least harm to the historical value of the property. Sometimes we gotta see it. So it's not, it's, I know you don't understand it, but, and that's okay. Hopefully the homeowner will not mind that we can get rid of the problem. So, I'm not going to bother the public commentary yet. I am going to entertain a motion to continue this to the January 4th meeting.
So is there a time frame for you guys to get out there? Do you think you get there before the fourth meeting, for the meeting?
That's not be a long thing, and just to see what's happening. It's actually more reasonable than you think because it's, and like I said before, I'm just going to reiterate when you're out here, if you get a historic district here, it just helps. You can even call Alvin and say where what something is, and see what kind of guidelines you might be working.
Yeah, no, I mean, frankly, until we went to public comment, I had no idea that we were talking about anything historic. It was our permit company that notified me and said we were gonna go to this, this hearing, so I didn't know.
No, I understand that happens. It's most likely the way it happens. Yeah. And some companies will just quit it and come and say, so they did this, so we didn't want to do that. So we don't want to do that too. So, anyway, I'm entertaining a motion to continue unless you were just going to say something. And we have the owner's number.
Yes.
We have all our. Let's take those minutes. Yeah. We don't screw it.
I love the problem.
Good, because we just want to. We still have to look at this in the historic point of view. To see, to do the least amount of, I would change it. To see if her changing windows, the most she can enhance it in historical. And reason. So anyway, somebody want to make that motion? Don't move. Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we call the vote. Commissioner Judith Troll.
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Brian McFarland.
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Troll. Yes.
So forgive me, my one last question is.
Maybe we can have more questions.
No, I mean, everybody here, do we need to come back once we get this properly looked at? We need to come back to get the voting conduct. Can you guys do that in a moment?
No, it'll happen at the meeting. It's preferable that somebody be here. It doesn't have. It really helps to have.
In case there's questions. That was my question. Just somebody, should somebody be here?
And the other thing that we look for, because you've heard tonight, we've been sitting here patiently for a while, we want at least have some sample. A lot of companies have them, but you can at least see how they sit. So we can see the thickness that takes that, if it's thin and you're sitting low, then it takes that right out of the tape. Anyway, we'll continue that. He will call her.
Okay.
You'll be on our agenda of the next meeting. January 4th.
Right. Good night. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Yes. All right, 9 Normandy Road. Application for certificate of hardship. Installing temporary aluminum handicap access ramp at the front door. Top of existing walkway, branch start. I'll let you guys put your name into the record first before I read it.
I'm Paula Mira, and it's just Matthew Deans.
Your address, Paul?
76.
Your 42 Road Street, Long Meadow.
Okay, So this is,
No, my sister is most from, she's waiting. And, she asked us to come in at this time, and she's, paperwork.
as you saw, I always have to check. that.
Yeah. Remember a lot.
Oh, here, got it. Of course, it's a second.
what you don't know, right?
Usually it's in the bottom, it happens to be the second page of the one. So I started at the wrong end. So this is a, do we have, okay, you do, all right, so. Here's questions we normally would ask. Do you have a front view of that? I hate to put you right.
That looks like that.
Oh, just like that. Okay, that's, I just wanted to get that up on the screen, mainly so that people out there can see it too. So they're just coming over to the driveway. Okay, that style house is probably not another, let's do it, so. This is the temporary, right?
Yes.
So it's gonna be a little, something that you might have a company come in and install temporary.
It's temporary, right? It can be removed in 1 hour.
Oh, really?
That's what I learned.
Well, yeah, that, the only thing that we. And I have no problem with it, you need to help, we deserve to have the ability to be really good now appropriately. But we also, part of our motion would be that it be removed as soon as reasonably possible after it's no longer in use.
Absolutely.
And, you know, because it is a temporary, this is a temporary, it's not a structure being attached, right? Actually, you know, what I mean? Yeah. You know what, let's just follow this. Yeah, this is one of those borderlands where we really don't even have a hearing, but we're here, I'd rather do it that way, and we just stay in trouble. There's somebody else. So I'm gonna open this up for public commentary right now. Is there anyone here who would like to speak for or against this application for a certificate of hardship to install a temporary limited handicap access ramp at 9 Normandy Road? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public commentary. I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship of 9 Normandy Road to install a temporary limited handicapped access ramp front door to the existing walkway, meeting ADA compliance requirements, and to be removed within a reasonable time after it's no longer being used.
Second.
Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Walsh is yes. Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Judith Kroll?
Yes.
Okay. What else that the only requirement is that it be removed? Did I say reasonable? You know, if you find that it's not being, it doesn't have to be. Later, and I hope it's used for a long time.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very kind of you.
Okay, 92 bucks in hand. This is. How are you?
Hello, good, how are you?
Excellent, I can see you. You have lots of information. Good afternoon. Can you get your name and address for the record, please?
Ann Lawton, 92 Buckingham Street.
Your name and Rose. 53 Pocono Village in Commerce. Excellent, thank you very much. This is an application, it's a good hardship. There's lots of proposals here, lots of information, so I'm gonna actually just ask you to explain what you're gonna do.
And this is my architect, we did the sketches
blueprints. So while I know what's going to happen as far as explanation goes, it's probably the best person to explain.
Yeah, I'd love to have you describe how you're gonna do the job, and what you're gonna use the material, and things like that.
I also put it in the writing, a little bit worse.
Right, it is, I don't wanna read it all, so I want you to tell me about it.
Okay. This is an existing photo.
Yeah.
Existing photo, you wanna see. We are trying to.
I think we might have that.
Yes.
Just help.
I email it on the existing photo.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, let me make it a little easier. So this is. You pull in permits. Very good thing. Install and maintain all roof standards and fall protection devices. Provide carefully cover, remove, dispose of the battery. Rosettes should be preserved and reused where possible. Will they be reconstructed? The rosettes?
Yes, sir.
So if one is divided and then recreated.
Regraded, sir.
Okay, that's good. And install, inspect and install reinforced concrete footings. All joists should be installed in a specific way, 16-inch extent of joist hangers finished for 1x4, tongue and groove double spur nail sand and paper finishes per original. Fully inspect and preserve all reused materials when necessary, remove damaged column, install new column, rails, balusters, windows, paint. Finish. Demolish and remove the site, old and damaged stairs and railings, install new stairs and railings as per original. Okay, so this is. So it sounds like you're actually going to recreate it with the same material, same design, same.
Sir, my only section is, at the left corner.
Yep.
On that side.
Yeah.
A part of it is a kind of round, semi-round, but we cannot get it. So we decided we're gonna try to secure it up, and the exit roof is a little flat. As you know, yeah. So, we decided we want to raise the pitch, just a small reduction.
So this is.
This is what it looks like now, vertical.
Yeah.
But we want to raise the pitch small one.
Okay.
So we're
How
gonna
far are you going to raise it?
it's just like a 1/4 pitch, so it's like,
Closer to what's next door?
so it's like 12 inches above what is existing. Underneath the window.
Right.
I think part of the rationale is that, because the roof is so flat, water settles on it. Yes.
Well, I was just looking at, it looks like they did that to your neighbor's house at some point, because that's not an original pitch right there.
Yes.
So you want to raise it up. So this corner, that looks like it's collapsing.
Yes, sir.
You said that's round, it's not a straight and a straight.
It's kind of separate, and there is no support underneath.
So you're suggesting. Like
Based on the drawing, we actually put a column in that corner there, that they were.
So you want to square it,
Yes, yes,
but with the same columns and the same. All the same decorative.
yes, sir. The column was in the same location. I only add one, but if you line up with the building itself, we add one to the corner. To get a support.
Right, so one would be out.
Yes.
Touch this thing. You're talking about putting one like here.
Perfect.
Square it
Yes,
like that?
yes, sir.
Is it like a conference pillar? Is there a reason you can't curve?
No. It based on what the material they use, I never wanted to play with it too much, and because even if because I could try to do the roof to make it as simple, but I never wanted to play with it too much, so I decided let's square it off and make it easier.
Okay. You can put maintaining all the other historical detail.
All the historical.
Move back out on that. Okay, that's all I want to see right there.
No, no. We
Now, the stairs are. Go on the stairs, tell me about the stairs. Are you gonna,
The same with everything.
right, the same wood, the same stuff, but now the railing, what are you gonna do for the railing?
For the real, based on what the neighbors are, we decided that we want to use ballast similar to what is in the neighborhood.
Okay, what would that have had? Do we have a historic version of that?
Like, there was a piece on the left-hand side.
Here is a piece on the left.
That, yeah, there you go.
But it is like 20 inches high.
No, interesting, that the way those rails are, isn't it? Wow. Okay, now just looking at the stairs, it looks like they've already been. Looks like those might have been stone, is that? Does that look like stone, brown stone? Maybe not. Yeah, wood. Well, they would not.
This is from like 1939 from the historic.
And honestly,
Huh.
one of the things that one was to put, make the stairs concrete.
That almost looks like brownstone, doesn't it? Which they took out and they made wood at some point. And they have no rails there, which is interesting, because you would have thought they might have even had a pipe rail there or something. So this is what you want to do, this is different, you want to do that? Commissioners have any questions so far on what we're looking at? In the,
I don't have any questions.
yeah, it's okay, because all the railings have all been redone too, there's nothing like a historic railing right there.
I guess that's my biggest question is the ones that you've shown as neighbor, they're like 4 different styles.
But we were thinking of anyone that is similar that we could use.
One looks like it just came off a Home Depot. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know, the nailers and it's not, doesn't look at all appropriate. There's one back at the end, which, I mean, the black one is better, but I can't really see any of the detail of the balancers with the, or the railings.
There. Okay, so it does still have, that rail is still there, is that the way it is all the way around? Well, I mean,
It is that way. The one on the right hand side, that one, that's the one that's there right now. That is what is there right.
If you were gonna recreate,
We were trying to either recreate it or the contractor was suggesting the pictures.
yeah. Nardi, I'm gonna take this call because he's sitting right here. Commissioner Nardi. You didn't make it. Be honest.
So there's, I see one section there. There's one section on the other side. Is there any of the railings?
So relax and everybody.
So that's really the only section that has the original.
Give them credit for
Both sides.
Just, that's, you know.
The far right and then the far left.
It is not possible to walk
Oh,
beyond
I mean,
where the blue thing is. And second there, it's difficult to walk. Not-
Oh, no, I'm just.
there's many positives, you put a lot of positives in this work. The stairs, I'm kind of concerned about, I'm just not sure if we should be thinking pipe rail or some other kind of rail for that. Or, certainly not what's there. You know, that wouldn't go, that black. Okay, no, that's appropriate. I mean, if you're doing all this hard work for the house, you want to try to grab one more historical detail on the stairs if you can. I don't really know exactly what that should be. The other part is squaring off the squaring that off, so that, but if you keep all the every detail in the, I'm actually, I know how difficult it is and expensive to do this. But square is not unusual there, it's not like every house is, this will, I don't think it will hurt the historical, presentation. It's squared off, so long as all the other details of the wood are kept. That's, I mean, there's other people that have to vote on this. This is just Commissioner Wall speaking, not Chair. They that, you know, from a, certainly from a financial, because some of this is trying to fall under hardship. And what we're doing is pretty good job. You're often doing a really good job of restoration. We just have to get a few details straight. In my mind, I'm okay. I don't know if any other commissioners jump in anytime. I'm okay with it being squared as long as it looks the same as it does on this end.
Yes, sir. The wasn't, you know, are intact of the top.
Yes.
They are very good intact. And we can also recreate them.
Yeah.
Because I have one at 75, one very before.
Yeah.
Which I brought it for the.
And those pretty good. Now the railings, it looks like you could recreate those as well.
That's what I was
Too
thinking.
much trouble, and we would probably appreciate that. The only thing I might suggest commissioners give us hints at are what would be an appropriate railing for the stairs. And I actually might ask somebody to sit in the audience for not usually, but David, if you could give me a 30-second on the railings for the stairs. I'm gonna give you a 30-second. I'm gonna have to say, Portland's a good guy, they'll be people do good work. But we do have, our job is to retain the architectural character. All these houses on Buckingham, were not built at the same time. They're like different generations. This is a generation where there's a lot of ground porches and the roofs are, I mean, it's not maybe intelligent, but the roofs were low pitch, like, well, in the 1870s, in the 1870 period. Right. So this is an important house. This is with its relationship to Naismith. And I'm just not, I don't feel comfortable just throwing up important details like the arch porch, and we built dozens of these ground porch. Well, I guess I just made a mistake, but that's okay. Well, the second exact, the railing, as far as the railing, I think the stair railing. Yes, that was what I was asking. Would probably be least obtrusive with a 1¼ inch iron pipe. Perfect. That's, we're on the same page on that. Another question, but anyway, the other thing is, it's not what we were talking about there, but thank you, David, please, because I knew.
May I also say
Yeah.
that I went through the neighborhood and my house is the only one that still really has a rounded corner.
See, that's the problem, because that's why it would be more likely to want to save it.
They want to save it. So what they're saying.
I mean, I can understand that if all the good, if I had to weigh the good and the bad, I'm okay with swearing it, and I understand that, David, but at least I'm telling you what I believe. Because with all the details still there, if that's what it takes to get that restored to that level, but I'm not the only one. And there are real reasons to at least try to make an effort to see what you might be able to do to keep it ground.
Okay.
You know,
So you prefer if I keep it there?
oh, absolutely. That would be worth. And for the exact reason you said, because there are not too many there that are. There's houses, we try to preserve it usually. But I also want you to be able to complete the job.
And to be honest,
Easily.
I love my rounded curve, but financially, because I've gone through so many contractors and it's such an issue
Yeah.
with them recreating that rounded structure. And there's so many different suggestions to cut it off or to get rid of the side and to, you know, and for me, I bought the house because I love the house, the way it looks. I love everything about my home.
Yes.
Not just a house to me. And it's not for me about Naismith. I could care less, you know, but I understand. But I love my home And I do want to save my home and to preserve it as best as I can. However, financially, because it's been such an issue with carpentry and everything else, if the only way to get it done and for it to be safe and for it to look amazing like it is, then, you know, I'm willing to go with the.
I will try my best.
Well,
If I'm the one that do the job, I'll try to create that.
It's because I have seen some curve done really nice. I really don't know. I'm not a car. I just know it's more difficult.
It's more time consuming.
But it's not impossible. And it's not, I mean, we've seen some in our neighborhood that have these huge curve, dramatic, huge curve porches. That's not, this is a more moderate curve, so, I mean, the problem with this is we would be asking you to at least investigate it and then come back to us in the 4th of January. If that's okay, if you're open to that. You already know I'm open to the square part. I'm not sure about anybody else, and I'm probably not going to ask that opinion. And we still have to open it up to public commentary sometimes, so people can speak for or against this. But a lot of, most of what you put on table standards, we love it, because you're using fresh materials, you're restoring it in an appropriate manner. And, you know, I have some in the middle, right? If I get all that, I get a square, and that's, if you have that, you've done this because this is a hardship. So, but we
Major hardship.
but we should be open to having their contractor at least investigate and then coming back at the next meeting and tell us what you found.
Yes, I can.
You know, it's relative to the capability of doing it. Right. So we'll be kind of.
Okay. So two things you prefer. You prefer the inch and quarter black iron pipe for the rail.
That's where I was going, yeah. Pipe
Yes.
rail to the rail.
You prefer it in black.
Yes.
And then,
Because it makes it less, you know,
and then we try to repurpose the rest of the handrail. But that handrail.
The porch railing.
Port railing is only at 24 inches. I would have to put an extra piece.
Well, what you do in that case, what we do for that is just another black pipe above it.
Okay.
That's, relatively speaking, that's an inexpensive solution. But we want you to keep that, in a historic district, we can't keep that railing at the lower height.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So, I know what it kind of is, you have to come back, but you seem open.
Yes. I would
I
love
appreciate
for it to be,
Right.
I would, you know, I just, yeah, I'm trying to work with who's work with them. That's not my pedagogy, so.
Okay, I'll put them in the detail and then talk with the guys.
Yes, you can just see what you can do for that one. And, you know, in the pipe rail, actually might save you time, construction of the stairs. The contractor pulls a lot less instead of building rail. Yeah, it doesn't do it all. Yeah, it's. But if that's okay, I'm going to ask for a continuance to the January 4th, and we'll just, if you can come back and tell us what you found out. And if you are able to do it with her, I'm sure. Easy, if not, we'll just have to discuss it one more time and take it home.
If we cannot do the curve, we'll come up with a straight one, which you can say, but we have to take care of the black pipe rail and the other.
I wasn't going to go to public commentary on this, but I think I will, just because you guys are here. And we will have public commentary again at the January 4th, but let me do it, if you guys don't mind. If anybody here would like to speak for or against this application, as you heard discussed tonight, go ahead. Here.
Hi, I'm Harry Seymour. I live in 68 Washington Road here in Springfield. I would like to speak for this. I think this is a beautiful house, a beautiful specimen. There are so many things worth saving in this home. And I hope that you can do as much as possible to save as much of that, including the rounded porch. And I would also, mention community preservation act funds, which are available for this kind of issue. It's not a shoe-in that you would get them, because it is a lottery system, but it's worth applying for.
Thank you.
Yes.
David? Yeah, I think, I want to speak strongly in favor of this. This is a house that sorely needs to be restored. And it's a fine part of Buckingham Street. I think that, like Jimmy Swift's house, we had a round porch that was burned. We had to fix it. It was not easy, but we did it. On 78 Westminster Street, which is right around the block. This thing can be done. And I'd be happy to work with Courtney and help figure out how it can be done and what to do. But the other thing I wanted to say is, with the preservation, we were able to get $60,000 for people to specifically do porches. So if there's an economic issue, it may be something.
Anybody else for or against?
For.
Okay, thank you. So right now I'm gonna entertain the motion to continue this application for the hardship of 19 Buckingham Street until January 4th. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me see where we'll be there. Commissioner Walter? Yes. Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Motion, yes. Commissioner Brian Carlin?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. So.
Gentlemen, lady, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. We move to, one Allen Street. Someone here for one Allen Street. How are you?
Hi, good, how are you? My name is Danielle Sabrin. My address is 331 Cooper Road, Northbridge, Massachusetts. I'm here for the Verizon Wireless, antenna.
Proposal to perform equipment modifications to their existing telecommunications facility located at the aforementioned address. Okay. You were able to speak to them. You see that I had to go through a few files, but-
Yeah, we did submit the LOA. Okay.
First, you know, supposed to- Got it.
I do.
Got it right up there. There you go. That's the. Okay, what are we doing here?
So really, we're not actually changing any equipment. We're just rearranging what's already there.
Yes.
Sure. Oh, no, you have the picture. So basically the one, I mean, all the arrows kind of show you where they're going, but the two that has two, the one on the top is moving all the way to the left, the bottom one's moving up. And then, this one on the right, it's kind of like hard to see in that photo, but this one's just gonna move down. Basically, we're just trying to make the center line even to make it look better. It's better for us and we also think it looks better.
Yeah. Didn't we have so much to read? What did they come, what did, because you don't know, what were they last before us for, in front of us for?
Section 106 review.
That's this application is for 106.
Unless you ever stick on there. Is there
Oh,
anything,
just a little something.
anything about that one I should remember?
Yeah,
Nothing?
probably sometime in the summertime, they came for 106 review and that's
Is it a color thing?
This is when we had a color issue on.
That was previous, because they've come several times. Yeah. So at some point, you know, you guys asked for them to color match the building.
Cause I'm looking at that thinking they didn't.
And yeah, they did not, so.
Okay, well,
I mean, we can
You're just-
paint the antennas to match the building, if that's what you're asking.
well, I think that was in agreement with us years ago.
Oh,
years ago.
I'm not sure, I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
say, I didn't
Yeah.
expect that you would, and I don't really remember either, just part of me is remembering that. And I'm looking at it, well, they didn't do it, that's what I was thinking, but I don't recall, I'd actually have to go and research the meeting, see what we really said. But you're just juggling, moving some of these around,
Yeah, and all of them will look like this, so all the sides will look the
but
same.
nothing, in effect, nothing's changed there.
No, everything's just
I mean,
rearranged.
from the ground, nobody walking by would say, hey, they moved that 10 to 3 feet to the left.
No,
Probably
you
not
shouldn't
happening.
really be able to, yeah.
Okay, and this is just a 106, so this is no adverse effect.
Well, no, so, they came before you guys in the summertime for the section 106 review, now they're before you because it's a preservation restriction on the building. Which basically anything.
Oh, Doug, right there.
Yeah, it's the same.
Application for certificate for work and preservation. Okay, so we just straighten it out. What's the preservation agreement saying?
You guys have purview over anything exterior of the property.
Okay, so this still, nothing's really changing the exterior. And
You're just gonna create symmetry with the panels.
yeah, so I don't have any issue. Does anybody else have any issues or comments on that?
I don't have any.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to, that. Think how to work.
Is it a vote or is it no adverse effect? Change.
It's a vote. But then you guys can also add conditions.
It's a vote that there is no adverse effect.
No.
It's a vote that it's okay to change.
Yes.
I can figure out how to word it. This is less common than some of the other things we do. I mean, the preservation agreement. Why don't you take the word in this one?
Well, we make a motion to approve the proposed panel configuration changes as stated in 1 hour.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? Are there any conditions or any reasons to add anything? Additions to this motion? I don't seem to see any, but if anybody else has anything else? Hearing none, go ahead, let me just call it over.
Before you do that, are you gonna add something about painting the antennas or?
No, that's what I was saying.
No, I mean, because I wanna make sure that we do it.
Well, that's already happened, so I really didn't have to recreate it, which is why I left it out of this, because this is a different thing from that. If I go back and I find that they should have been painted,
Okay, that's fine, I mean, that's fine, but I wanna make sure when we rearrange them and they're not painted, I don't want anyone coming to me and saying, hey, you didn't tell us they're supposed to be
I
painted.
think it would look better if you moved 3 of them and just painted 3 of them right now. You're open to, you can't do it this time of year, right?
Right.
So let's just deal with the thing on front of us, which is the motion to say, okay, for what you just asked for. Let me just get the vote here. Commissioner Judith Kroll.
I'm saying yes. I'm sorry, I was muted.
Commissioner Brian McFarland.
Yes.
Commissioner Walter.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's for that. The other thing, I'm not sure. And we can even,
Couldn't we research it and
yeah,
so we could send her whatever the last decision was on that? And then it would be up to
maybe updated. I mean, it's not gonna happen. for any
No,
time
but
right now.
yeah, it's not-
No, right, I wanna know, because it seems like it stuck out that we are not gonna cross that bridge.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't want anyone coming to me later on.
Oh,
and
yeah,
saying, "You didn't tell us, so you're perfect." Yeah.
Well, I just made that. I didn't.
Oh, no, I mean someone from Brett saying to me, you didn't let her know.
Which is good, because you only came to deal with what was on that piece of paper, so I can't, they didn't wanna back it up. Well, we need to do research and let them know that they really were supposed to do this.
Okay,
If we can't find anything, like it. Great, so you're all set.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So you're gonna have your
Have a good day.
patients, have your business.
Thank you.
Okay, we got one other thing left to do before you guys speak out. Are we gonna get somebody here? You here before? Okay, we did not do our elections in September, when we forget what contentious event was happening that night. We, we have to determine who will chair and who will, things vice chair. So we, see the secretary really. So we can do that fairly quickly if we would like. Anybody want to nominate anybody for anything?
And then also, I'm sorry, CPC representative, well, Judy, can you speak to the CPC, representative role? Is that a term role?
It is a term role, yes.
Do you know when your term ends?
It might be next year, 2024. Why do you ask?
In case we need to vote.
Oh, no, I'm still there. Yeah, we don't have to vote on someone to do that.
Okay.
But we can, because I don't need to do it.
CPC position. I'll do it for people. Just realized we can't do that.
I think what the CPC recently put in was, with the city council was something about if the representative is no longer on whatever committee they're on, they still get to serve out their term with the CPC until they get a replacement or something like that. Because a few people who were on it, they got other positions and they left. So we don't have, they're just gone. Or they were with other things. So like if I leave the historical commission, that means I'm off of the CPC. So I think they did something.
Okay.
They did? Okay.
Okay, so we need a few nominations. I just nominated you to maintain that.
Okay, well, nominate Vincent Walsh to stay as president.
Chair. President,
Sorry, I just gave you
Your
a
Honor.
title, Your Honor.
Thank you. This, gotta have seconds to the nominations. Which we're all not gonna have.
Oh, I'll second.
What we are doing, a second to Walter Crow's nomination?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, I second it.
He seconded your nomination, and we can take one at a time, we can take them together, so what else is? And I would also nominate Al Nardi for vice chair.
Second.
Let the vote guy who's not here. And then the other one, we tend to nominate Alvin for the position or whoever the liaison is for the position of, I'll call it liaison instead of secretary. I would nominate you for that, understanding that they are currently in the process of looking for a new one.
I would second that.
So that's a slate to move forward with, and I'm gonna make this one real easy because I'm just gonna say all in favor. Aye.
Aye.
Come on.
Yeah, yes.
That's hard to work with, like 4 people. All right, well, that's what they are. The ayes have it. So I will stay the chair for another session, you might say. Do I have to write all this down for you? You got it? Okay, now, the moment we've all been waiting for. You guys, come on up and have a seat, get comfortable, and I can't give you all day, but you guys, we got a few minutes to 2 points, and I'm gonna, Steve is about to. Steve, it worked awful hard to get here, so take your time getting up and getting comfortable there, really. And before you start, I'm sorry, are either of you guys with any public speak up from me? No, it's still just listen, right?
Yeah, I would just like to make the comment, since you're talking about, new commissioner roles. The Springfield Preservation Trust and the Forest Park Civic Association are working on bringing more names forward. And I do think that we have two names that are going to be coming from the Agricultural Society, AIA.
Thank you very much. It's the best we have. Been one of them. Oh, you're one of them. That's fine.
Oh, there you go.
Well, we need some
And
people.
as long as you're talking about like changes, as of Monday, I officially was sworn in.
So you're no longer, an
I'm not an alternate.
Hey, you were the best alternate we ever had. Anyway, just so you know, the more people we have, easier. And we've had a couple that we had one gentleman been on for like 35 years, and the health issues just started to get. And in one, our own Brian here. Brian, you still on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and he's been hanging in there with us too, fighting some having a challenge or two, so. But the more the merrier, we'd like to fill the slate of 7 and plus a couple alternates if we could, that would be, anyway, that's the public commentary. About Dave Gate, he can put his name in, we'll put their name in. So, all right, you guys, you got the floor. I'll let you do the first.
Okay, I sent a letter and I don't want to make out and read. But the essence of it is that we are about to move forward with implementation, first online implementation, and then starting to work on getting interpretive sign placements for our city hall museum.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think everybody here probably already memorized the speech about the significance of history of McKnight.
Yeah.
The McKnight brothers pioneered the development process, and a lot of people before and after that contributed to making it, to preserving a community. So we want to set up an effective legacy to tell that story when maybe I'm not here and some of the other people who've been telling the story aren't here to do it, but we want to have it continue on as a permanent part of the city. And we're going to be bringing forward some proposals for some houses that we've already got people involved in other houses. One of them happens to be 92 Buckingham. Another one happens to be 188 Florida. We would like to recruit to make particular note. Steve wanted to speak to this and he's about to go out. So you've got 3 properties that we want to make some have interpretive signs on. You're not going to be here when they're going to come up on the 18th. You can get them this night. Okay, there's the Stebbins house at 86 Golden Street, the Newell Carriage House, which is really 57 Golden Street, and the Guy Kirkham house. That's also designed by Guy Kirkham, who designed what's the Stebbins building, but is on Clarendon Street, facing the train. There's several other ones, and we're kind of picked out from. We're getting Nottingham and we're getting with them about 2 dozen. We're going to try to move forward. Bessie House is one. So that when someone comes, we can have we'll have an online presence. We've already started that. And each interpreter sign, you've all seen is also going to have what's called the talking house setup. We're borrowing it from the real estate industry, so that someone can be there and listen to this information on the radio.
It's a fabulous subject.
I think we'll probably still be the AM radio side. That's what we're going to be trying to bring forward. We have incidentally the Chamber of Commerce and the Springfield museums are both in support. So
I think it's nothing that we talked about. And it's I hope it's something that could happen. just has to be presented in a way that's, you know, it enhances the neighborhood, see what it is. It's only what it is, yeah. What does it look like?
Very additionally, the trolley. We would like, the Watson, I don't know if everybody remembers, but everybody knows Watson Avenue.
Yes.
Watson Avenue is Watson Avenue because it was the Watson Company, which built a lot of the trolley cars in America. One of the three big companies, including most of the Springfield Street Railway cars. And we would like to see some operational recognition of that. When MGM was putting out their presentations, there was a trolley car going down Main Street. Springfield Business Improvement District would like to see that. The Connect to the Business Bureau would love to see it. There's the rubber wheel trolleys, which are less expensive than that. That could integrate. And the thing that we have to do is one of the more important. We love your support. But that so far our tourism has said tourism are saying tourism ends at Spring Street. The rest of the city is we're scared to go right to it. And we're saying there's a lot of things in McKnight, McKnight's a nice neighborhood. I'd like to see people interact with McKnight and then Forest Park and
a lot of big old cities, a couple of them still have great Orleans, even after that last hurricane destroyed that was there after. They still had a great tour of historic properties, including damaged ones.
Yeah, it was there.
And it's, you know, so whether we can do some kind of present, not be against any of this that you're saying, right? A presentation is everything. I think just, because this is kind of a round table kind of thing. Jump in there, Eric.
Yeah, so, I'm not actually even hearing all of it, but.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I've only got a few more minutes, but
you're
not up any.
The way that you're talking about it, I would just want to bring to your attention that one of the things that we're, working on is converting our tours, which are like, on a brochure that, people can walk, you know, see different properties and read a little something about them. We're going to convert that to, the digital economy, and where people can walk around and on their cell phone can pull up where the tour starts and where the houses are, and can give them not only just a little, you know, snippet that you get in a brochure, but can actually even take them inside the house, can actually talk about historical events, can talk about the architect. So
There's a lot of dimensions.
there are a lot of dimensions, and you know, these days in electronics, it should all be doable. We're just working on getting the money together and figuring out.
We've already got some AI people working.
Yeah, the money is the key.
But
Yeah.
there's I think the reason I bring this forward now is we've been working like for 2 years, and I have yet to have anybody let me know when the preservation trust meets nowadays. And we still, and then we get some.
We can go to their website. They have meetings once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me your, give me your email, okay? And I'll give it you.
Look at
get,
McKnight CDC, that you know.
But let me just jump back into my chair position here to see if there's anything else you guys want to add.
Yes.
Everything you said is our things that I would love to have you bring in front of us, because I have people kind of waiting.
Okay, so the other thing that we wanted to say is, and Steve calls me up every now and then, like, there's a house on Bay Street that, was supposed to be a community preservation project. Right behind where it used to be Friends. Talked about making it a single building historical district. Bay Street. Okay, right this second. But anyway, the point is, they're doing work on it. It's very sincere work. The guys are working hard, but they seem to think they're building a deck in 16 acres.
And well, we see that a lot.
And I brought you this, but the column, we actually have this column to do, because one of the columns in front of
I'm gonna apologize, guys, for this. I'll tell you why, because we lost one of our commissioners, right?
Yeah, Judy.
So I can't continue the meeting. I can't, it's three, I mean, we can, we're technically adjourned now. And, nothing official can happen because we don't have a forum any longer. So, so now, it's, you know, I think we just should, I don't need a motion to adjourn. We have no quorum and the meeting is